大家好 and welcome to
White Gaze,
where we white gaze upon the drama,
the looks,
and the language of our newest favorite Chinese television show, Empresses in the Palace, otherwise known as...
Zhen Huan.
No!
I know, I was nervous. I got nervous.
Well, you know what? You're nervous because we are finally back in the studio together.
Let me try again.
For the first... No.
Zhen Huan.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, I know.
You got it. But how does it feel? How does it feel to be back in the studio?
Okay, no, that's rude. I'm not going to say that. I'm so happy.
Wow, the true colors are coming out now. Wow.
Yeah, it's fierce.
Child. Anyway, so...
And today we're recapping episode 9.
We're chugging along.
There's a lot of drama in this episode. Are you ready to get into it?
Okay, not only is there drama, but there's dramatics.
Dramatiques.
It's so dramatic.
Stunts. Monologues.
One thing that I noticed was the funkiness of, like, the staging of it all.
Okay. I don't know what you mean by that, but...
You know, like, just, like, whenever they're just, like, are, like, walking in the palace and we'll just, like, stop in some random spot.
Okay, Big Westi, why don't you remind us what happened in the last episode? Where did we leave off in episode 8?
Last episode, we saw them go to the spa. Zhen Huan is in love, giving all these marriage references, all these wedding, traditions. Somebody needs to teach me English.
You speak as if English is your second language. Like, you're looking for the word.
I can't. That's what I'm saying. I am looking for the word.
Davide speaks faster English than you.
I know. They go to the spa. We're getting marriage traditions. Oh my god. I'm losing my mind.
I'm begging you to just fucking say the words.
Traditions.
Fuck.
Okay, calm down. Let me finish. Okay, so this is what happened at the last ball. Stop! Oh. In the last episode, we saw them go to the spa. Zhen Huan is very much falling in love. There's lots of marriage traditions being talked about. And at the end of the episode, we see the girls, they have just left, speaking with the Empress. And Hua Fei is reading the girls down.
She definitely is, and she's hammering down this point that sisters, you would think, would be sharing of their toys, their clothes, and perhaps the favor from the emperor. And she's trying to drive this wedge in between Shen Meizhuang and Zhen Huan by sort of bullying them in this direction. And that is where we pick up with episode 9. But before we really dive into the drama, I want to say a big congratulations to Lenny for making his debut with the captions. We noticed that, so thank you, Lenny, and congratulations on your debut. It is your debut. It's her first night out in the ball. Give her flowers. Yeah, so Hua Fei is definitely trying to drive home that their friendships are splitting. And Shen tries to clap back. She says, well, if Yang Nang wants me to make a copy of this book to tell the harem about how they should act, how can I not know that jealousy and resentment is the antithesis of virtuous behavior? Even though I'm not talented and I'm very dumb, I still wouldn't dare to be lacking in this aspect of behavior. But Hua Fei is just too powerful. Hua Fei ignores this and just continues on by saying, even if your behavior is good, it's hard to guarantee that the others are well behaved too. And I've been here for a long time. I know that the girls be flipping and flopping and double crossing each other. So,
honestly, it's the dramatics.
Mm.
And I think that Shen Meizhuang needs to grow up, put her big girl panties on, and get over it.
Well, but the girl is bullying her, like, to her face.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, the jealousy. Because she is very much getting jealous, and she's like, you know what? I knew that, like, this was going to happen. I knew that I can't be the favorite for forever.
But right now, it's Hua Fei's jealousy that is really showing. And Hua Fei knows that she can't bully Zhen Huan because Zhen Huan is too powerful at the moment. So she's going to bully Zhen Huan's friend to get at Zhen Huan.
This is extreme bullying, and we will see later in the episode, because I know Miss Thing is behind it all.
It is extreme bullying, and there is a shred of truth to it, because Shen Meizhuang even admits that their friendships are starting to splinter, because she says, you know, we haven't seen Anling Rong in forever. We all came up together, but, you know, our friendship there is different. That's not really working out. But truly, Zhen Huan, you're the only person that I can trust. And I'm worried that the others will want to do me harm. Foreshadowing.
Girl. Damn. How did she know?
She can feel it. When the eyes are on your back, you can feel it. Shen Meizhuang, after Hua Fei leaves, says, now you know what I've been talking about this whole time. I've been telling you to play it cool, to be a little more relaxed, and not be so upfront with your power, because this is what happens on the other side of it.
They're coming at me because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she says, you know, I'm not blaming you. There's gonna be other people. He's gonna obviously have favor to tons of different girls, not just you. So in a way, I'm glad that it is you, because you're my best friend and you're the only one that I can trust. And I would rather that he's favoring you now than if he's back to favoring Hua Fei, who I think wants to do me some harm.
And harm will be done.
Mm-hmm. And this sticks in her mind because we cut to Zhen Huan in bed with the Emperor in the middle of a romantic thunderstorm, and she is woken by the sound of the lightning and the thunder.
I didn't know that the girls spent the night.
Yes, the girls spend the night.
I thought it was just like, bam, bam, we're done.
No, they spend the night. They get a sleepover.
That's nice. That's nice.
It is nice.
It's nice that they get that. It's not just like, let's do the deed and you're done.
Right.
You get to spend the night.
Exactly.
Girl, they're cuddling.
They're cuddling fully. And even though she's awoken in the night, the Emperor senses it. And without even opening his eyes, he says,
why are you awake?
What's up?
What's wrong?
And she's just saying, well, you know, I'm just nervous about the way things are going, and our relationship's amazing. But it would be nice if, like, you did visit some of the other girls, because I don't want to cause you any political problems. Because, remember again, his choices in the harem with the concubines also reflects on the outer political world.
It does?
It does. And so it brings in their families. And so rather than make the Emperor get in trouble with all these other noble families because their daughters aren't getting fucked, he should, you know, spread the love around and make all the noble families feel good so that they're loyal and they don't have any uprisings.
It's really like that?
Yes, it's like that.
Damn.
Exactly. She says that the harem is already getting resentful because it's already been 7 nights in a row.
7 nights in a row.
7 nights in a row that she has had the attention of the Emperor.
I wish.
It's never been this way. She is, for the first time in history, a week-long streak.
Did Hua Fei ever get a week-long streak?
Obviously not.
She's the first one.
Maybe she got 6 days.
Lucky number 7
is Zhen Huan.
Okay.
We see the Emperor sort of take this in, and he's like, okay, I'll think about it. And then he sort of like bear claws her head into his shoulder so that they can cuddle again.
I need that.
And they just cuddled the night away.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Mm-hmm. They're really getting into the role play of this countryside romance.
Mm-hmm. The marriage, what words? Traditions.
She's a traditional girl. Okay, she's a traditional girl.
So then we cut to the Emperor going to see the Dowager, Miss Mom. And I thought it was nice that he has to greet her.
I wrote that down too. I was like, wow, this is the only person in the entire kingdom that he bows to, and it's his mother.
Yeah.
Who run the world?
The Empress Dowager.
Period.
Y'all wouldn't have this if it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm. And she is talking all about the 17th Prince and how she has not seen him in a while. And I'm the same, bitch.
Yeah, bring him back.
Bring him back.
We want to see him.
We haven't seen him since the Spring Festival.
What the fuck?
It's Dragon Boat now.
In Shanghai, it's Dragon Boat, yes. In our reality, yes. But I'm sure this is further in the summer for them. And I'm really hoping that they bring him back. I mean, he keeps being in the opening credits, but never on the screen.
Yeah, that was the man that I was talking about, that I saw in the opening credits. I was like, I saw another man on there, and I want that man, and I want him back.
Oh, yes, Daddy.
Well, so the Emperor makes a comment like, well, if you miss him so bad, summon him. And it really got my hopes up. But, spoiler alert, he does not come.
He's not in the next one. Maybe he's in the next one.
But they do use him as a reference to say, oh, well, his mother, who was also a concubine, was also the most favored of the Emperor, and that made all the girls hate her. And she had a really sad life in the harem, because all the girls' jealousy of her tortured her. And so his mom had a really hard life, which again is reflecting to the Emperor about, well, fuck, that's what I'm doing with Zhen Huan.
And he's like, okay, yeah, I need to get another girl.
He's like, I need to get another girl, and also, I would like Zhen Huan to get your advice. She should learn. She should get ahead of this, because I think she's going to be my favorite for a long time. And the Empress Dowager bitch is like, call me when she's a peen.
Right. Well, because at the start of the conversation, she didn't even know who she was.
Yeah, she's like, I've never heard of her.
I've never heard you talk about her.
Soiree Guiren. Who? And so she's like, yeah, not worth my time. Guirens are as plentiful as the weeds in the field.
But in the first episode, whenever they are doing the selection process, wasn't she didn't like her? She's the one that threw the cat at her, yeah?
She did throw the cat. She did.
She didn't like her.
Did not like her at all.
We haven't gotten to that tea yet. We don't know that tea.
Well, maybe they're gonna have a showdown. If I was Zhen Huan, I wouldn't forget about having a cat thrown at me either.
Because I'm famously terrified of cats.
Unflinchingly terrified.
Is that what she said?
No. So then we do cut to later that night, I'm assuming, where the Emperor is selecting his tickets. Now, unfortunately, Li Ping's is too dusty, so they just remove it completely. Her lipstick has been chosen. She is not available. She's been eliminated.
Why is her so dusty? Is she old or something?
Well, I'm assuming if it's dusty, it means he hasn't chosen it in a long time. But then I don't understand why that would just make you out of the running completely.
Because your name tag is dusty?
Yeah. And after she's removed, the Emperor's hand, again, just sort of strokes Zhen Huan's little name tag. And he's like, I want to do it, but I can't. But I want to, but I can't.
And then he chooses Hua Fei.
Hua Fei, who is aligned with the Empress. We know that. They're good friends. And when we see her in the very next scene, she admits that he has not visited for 1 year.
Well, okay. Honestly, she already has a kid.
That he doesn't like very much.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
Oh?
Just kidding.
Well.
But yeah, she already has a kid. Like, can't we impregnate another bitch?
Let's
get one of these other girls a kid. Okay, and what is the tea with? There's all these girls. They're getting it seems like he's fucking every night. Where are the babies?
Fertility works in mysterious ways.
If there was a selection process now with all this science, that would be a part of it, because bitch, you need to be fertile.
Bitch, the selection process now is you go to the bank and you say, whose DNA do you want to inseminate your child with? And you genetically engineer them.
Girl, I love
We are deleting that for sure. Oh my god.
I'm joking, but...
Anyways, Hua Fei is super excited, and she's so excited that she tries to stand up and take a step and immediately falls.
That comes into the dramatics. It's like, that is...
They're acting, mama. Okay? They are physically investing in the role.
You know, I need to go to that acting school that they went to, because they are acting.
They are acting, okay? It is there. They've got the dramatics. And she's like, bitch, go get me my pink dress. You, bitch, do my hair. And by the way, fetch my son, and we'll all hang out together. And the eunuch is like,
no, son, we don't need the son.
Yeah, no, actually. And she's like, oh, yeah, he's bad at talking. We're not going to invite him.
How old is he? Like 7 or something?
No, he's old.
He's like old.
No.
Is he a child?
I don't think he's a child, but he's not a girl, not yet a woman.
Okay. I was thinking he was like a child.
I don't think so, because later in another scene, the Emperor sort of makes a comment about that.
But yeah, she's excited. And I love how she said, what are you doing? Do my hair.
Mm-hmm. I'm not paying you to just stare at me.
In the next scene, we see Hua Fei looking at the accounts books. And she's puzzled that the Emperor is going to see Hua Fei. She's like, Hua Fei? Really? One of the girls was standing there. And she's like, anybody is better than Zhen Huan.
Oh, Michi Miao Miao.
Oh, that was Michi Miao Miao.
That's Michi Miao Miao.
What's her actual name?
Songzhi.
Okay, yes. And she's like, it's not Zhen Huan, so...
Count it as a win.
Yeah.
And she's like in a bad mood. So immediately she's like, I want to take my anger out on someone. And she says, summon Shen Meizhuang. I'm going to make her write the books for me. And so she starts her torture. And she says, oh, the candlelight is too bright on the eyes. Blow too out.
Don't do it.
These girls are so dramatic.
They are. And you see them blow out the candles, and she's just sat there like, yes, she's going to do this.
And that's coming from me, bitch. I'm dramatic. The candlelight is hurting my eyes.
Well, she's doing that on purpose, you know? She is doing that intentionally to say, I'm going to make this task harder for her. And I'm going to make her fuck up. And then I'm going to punish her for that.
And even after the fact, like... She's like, oh my god, your eyes are red because we've been writing so long. Mm-hmm. Fuck off.
I said what I said.
In the next scene, Zhen Huan is informed by her head maid that the Emperor has indeed chosen someone else and that she needn't stay up. And she becomes very confused. She's like, yeah, this is what I literally told him to do, but why am I mad now?
Manila says, like, how did you not...
Wait a minute, how do you not know what you're signing up for? You already did this, girl.
Exactly. It's that. It's
Manila.
very that.
It's
it
Manila.
is. No, for real, I am actually sitting with Manila. And then we cut back to the torture scene. I do want to say, what Hua Fei is wearing is a sleigh.
Oh, very
She
much.
has her hair done up with gold and trinkets, and it's not as, like, ostentatious as the big blue phoenix was. It's more simple, but it's still expensive, and she's in that deep purple. She is the purple princess.
She's the purple girl.
She wears purple in every scene.
Also, ostentatious. Great drag name.
Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Ostentatious.
Miss Ostentatious.
Okay. So anyways, Shen Meizhuang is forced to copy the book in the dimming light, and her eyes really hurt. And of course, because she can't really see the page, she's fucking up.
What is she writing?
She's making a copy of a book. They don't have a scanner. They don't got a printer. So if you want to make another book, you got to literally look at one book and copy it.
Baby.
Word for word for word.
Where is Johannes Gutenberg at when you need him?
Europe.
That's his name, isn't it?
It is. And you know what's crazy is that on the quiz that I won, if I recall correctly, we discovered that printing was somehow invented in China. And so obviously it was not invented at this point yet. Is that what I am to understand?
I guess. Yeah, no printing. It's just poor
handwriting.
Speaking of poor handwriting, she's not happy. Hua Fei is not happy with the results.
Mm-hmm.
But she goes even further and she's like, you know what? It's too bright in here. It's too bright.
Turn two more off.
Two more.
And do it again. And she says, okay.
This scene is an instance where I'm talking about the staging of it all. Because all the girls are just standing around.
Yes.
And like Monty said earlier, like, they don't have TVs, so...
They don't have very much to do.
They don't have very much to do, but that's the thing is, like, they just are sitting.
Hua Fei is in this, like, amazing pose where she's just, like, got her head on her hand and she's laying horizontal for 8 different scenes. And the girls are just literally stood in the room just watching her lay.
And massaging her legs.
And massaging her legs. Michi Meow Meow is there, like, slowly pinching her calves.
Yeah, like, that does not look like the best technique. I would not be into that.
No, I would not pay for that.
Well, she doesn't have to pay.
That's true. I think it's included in their contract.
So we cut to Chi Fei, and she's just awkwardly standing there. It is very awkward that she's just standing there. What is he doing? He's writing or reading or whatever he's doing, and she's just standing there.
He's reading his book, and it's her moment. She's excited. She's like, this man who is my husband-ish, the only person legally allowed to fuck me, is back in my home for the first time in 1 year. Imagine, you haven't gotten fucked in an entire year.
I don't have to imagine, baby.
Okay, so you should feel what she feels, okay? And she's
Okay.
so excited. She's doing too much. The definition of doing too much, because she's sitting there staring and she's just watching him. And the emperor's uncomfortable. He says, bitch, sit down. And she says, no, baby, I'm okay. I love watching you. And he says, no, bitch, for real, sit down. You're blocking the light. I can't see.
Okay, but like, I don't know. I feel like I'd be mad as hell because he just comes over and is just going to sit there and read his book. I thought I was sucking dick.
Then get on your knees. Don't stand there.
I feel for her, honestly, in this because he is reading her.
Oh, for filth, mama.
Drag her, slay her, read her.
He's talking about the sun, and she's like,
Yeah, I've been telling him to do his homework. I've been telling him to listen to you because one day he's going to take over for you. And I just want him to be ready to take that burden because he is so noble and you're so amazing. And I just want to do everything that I can to make sure that he is ready.
and he's like, you're talking that kid's ear off. You don't need to be saying that to him. He don't need to be hearing that. And I don't want to hear it either.
Also, your dress is ugly. Take that shit off.
She put on the pink one. She put on the pink one because she was like, "Oh, he loves me in pink." He gets there and he's like, "What the fuck is this dress?" And she's like, "I thought you liked me in pink." And he's like, Well, you were younger once, and that's it's not appropriate for your age. You need a
deep blue,
or an emerald.
Yeah. And she's like, "Are you calling me old?" And he said, "Bitch, I'm telling the truth."
Did I lie?
So he is not letting her live, and he closes that book and says, "I'm out of here. I can't today.
Wanna know what? No, I am gonna leave.
Not now."
But who knew he was a fashion icon?
I mean, the girls with a passion for fashion.
Purple's a fall color.
In
the middle of May.
So he is a fashion girl. He read her down, and then he left.
Yeah, he was like, I'm over it. I can't look at these ugly clothes anymore.
and she is just sat there, just being sad. Like, Emperor, wait, come back.
And now let's take a break.
Come back.
Hey girl, I am at Alimentari right now, and the wait is way too long.
You're kidding me. How long are they saying?
They're saying an hour and a half.
Oh, wow. That is a certainly long amount of time. But no worries. Guess what?
What?
I have learned to live and dine like an Italian from the comfort of my own home.
How did you do that?
With the Alimentari Home Cookbook. I'm able to recreate my Alimentari favorites from cover to cover. The book is filled with recipes from risotto al marinara to lombata d'agnello, not to mention the crowd favorite, crostata al limon.
Oh, I love that one.
Exactly. You can pick up this cookbook if you want from any of the Alimentari locations on Anfu-Lu, on Wuding-Lu, on Donghulu, on Kangding-Lu, or from Bar Centrale on Yangping-Lu.
Lovely. Do they tell you how to make a pizza?
Oh, girl, do they tell you how to make a pizza? They tell you how to make a ravioli, spinaci e ricotta. They tell you how to make pizza. They tell you exactly how to cut the little cheeses to look beautiful on the board.
Lovely. I'll grab a bottle of Aperol and I'm on my way.
See you tonight. And just like that, we're back.
In the next scene, we see Jade. She's getting Jen ready for bed, and she's in her feelings about the Emperor and being with Hua Fei.
Deeply in her feelings. So in her feelings that she has to go back to her zither, her guzheng, and she starts plucking and spitting, bitch. She is saying some rhymes. She is releasing her feelings in the studio. All good artists.
I always find it hilarious that she's like just giving poetry, spoken word.
雨潇潇兮动听，燕霏霏兮黄鹂。望夫君兮不来，波渺渺而至。
Well, Jade recognizes the song, and Jade is like, bitch, don't play that
can't
song.
play
That's
that.
bad luck. Don't do that.
What's the name of the song?
Hua Fei's Resentment.
Hua Fei's Resentment.
Culture alert, culture alert. Okay. Consort Xiao Hua Fei was a favorite concubine of Tang Gaozong, but lost his love to Wu Zetian when she came in as a love rival. She was deposed and died horribly. So she was a lover who was very beloved, and then when the new girl came in, dead.
Language alert. What is deposed?
Shut the fuck up. Deposed, like kicked out. Like, you have been deposed.
Okay, I guess I've never heard that word before.
Have you heard the word deposition?
There we go. Okay.
The same idea.
Okay.
Right? You are taken in.
Yeah.
You are taken down a peg.
Okay, that makes sense now.
And while she is a plucking and a strumming and spitting these rhymes, guess who's outside listening?
The Emperor.
Yes!
And this is another one of those staging things, because it's like, why are you just literally standing in the middle of in the middle of the palace.
Right, how convenient it was that you went by her place only to listen to her song. And I actually wrote down that Su Peixiang must be some sort of mind reader, because he asked the emperor, like, well, are we going to go back to your house now? And the emperor doesn't say a single thing. And suddenly, Su Peixiang knows.
On to Broken Jade.
We're going to the Broken Jade Palace. All right, guys, you know the deal. And he walks in, and he loves to be like a sneaky man.
Yeah, because Jade stands up to greet, and he's like, no. And she's feeling it, bitch. She's getting into it. She's got her eyes closed, and she's going bow, 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 bow.
And it is slamming those notes. The emotion is truly coming out. And finally, he interrupts her and says,
你把朕的心都谈乱了。
And she's gagged. Truly gagged. She's like, wait a minute, why are you here? What are you doing here?
You're supposed to be with Hua Fei.
Yeah, weren't you with Hua Fei? And he was like, I was, and now I'm here.
I love this part because he was like, you promised that you were going to be a good boy and that we're going to talk to the other girls. Mm-hmm. And he was like,
今夜且再做一回昏君。
But I'm a bad emperor. I'll be a good boy tomorrow. I'm a bad emperor tonight.
I'm a bad boy. And let it be known that actually in this scene too, Zhen Huan is looking fucking cute in these baby blue pajamas. She's looking very comfy but very chic. She's got the sleeves done with the detailing, but it's just in this very flowy, loose fabric. I love that.
And you want to know, I forgot to say something about this last episode, but she's given Inchianas.
Oh, hair. Down to her butt.
Her hair, she got this long hair.
Yeah.
And I guess that's like her lounging, her slumber hair whenever it's down like that. Mm-hmm. But that shit is long.
Mm-hmm. And after the emperor says, I'll be bad, she says, then I'll be a virtuous concubine tomorrow. And I'll beg her forgiveness. Like they always say in English, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, I live by that.
Then she goes back to play, and she accidentally calls the emperor Silang.
Which is like something you call like your husband or something?
It's like, again, countryside slang. It's like a cute pet name that you have for your husband. And the emperor stops. He says, what the fuck you just call me?
She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he's like, no. Do it again.
Do it again. I like it. By the way, do you have a nickname yet? And she said, no. And he said, from now on, I'm going to call you Huan Huan. And she says, Huan Huan. In the next scene, we jump right back to Soldier, Michi Miao Miao, giving Hua Fei a leg massage as Shen Meizhuang is laboriously finishing her copy of the book.
Laboriously. You're giving me all sorts of words today. But yeah, she finally finished, and then we're getting into the staging again because she just like sits there and waits with the books. I'm like, bitch, say something. Say, hey girl, I'm done. But she doesn't. Right. But I guess she like wakes up from her little nap and she's like, oh, are you done? And she's like, yeah, I made 2 for you this time to make up for me doing so bad the first time.
But fortunately for her, Hua Fei is bored. She's like, I'm done playing with you. Go home.
Go home. It's late.
And so as they leave, her maid, Cai Yue, or Lunar, says that she should tell the emperor, report this conduct, because what Hua Fei is doing is wrong and abusive. So if you told the emperor, then he would help you. And she says, well, sure, but in the long run, this would only make it seem like I'm not capable of running things here.
Yeah.
So I would rather endure this in the short term, so in the long term, I can be given more responsibilities than to, stop getting bullied now, but not be given any responsibilities in the future. And suddenly this conversation makes her not tired anymore.
She's like, oh, I'm not tired. Let's go to the pond.
Her eyes were red and she could not see, and she was about to fall over into the ink when she was writing the book. But now she's perky. She got her second wind.
Yeah, and so she's like, let's go to the pond. The pond is in the vicinity. And
It's close.
And so let's go over there.
So they go to the pond. They're feeding the fish. Now, the fish want nothing to do with the food.
Oh, girl, they couldn't hire better fish.
The fish must have been vegan or something because they were not eating any of that prop food. They're sprinkling it on the water, and the fish are just like, not me.
Also, the act of her just like feeding the fish and just like being so into it was just so silly.
Well,
but they run out. They run out of fish food. And she's like, oh no, we're out of fish food. But it's like, honestly, how much food do you need to give these fish?
Well, she's enjoying it. It's one of her life's only pleasures at this point. So she's like, little eunuch, go and get me more fish food. And he said, okay. He goes. And
then Michi Meow Meow comes in. And she...
You can tell something's
You
up.
can tell. You can tell.
In her smile and her look. And she says...
She's like, I'm about to get these bitches.
Well, she says, by the way, we wanted to give you this like really fancy ink for writing since you did so much, but you ran away too fast, so we couldn't give it to you. And so she says, Lunar, go and get the ink. And Lunar's like, no, I can't leave you alone.
You're going to be alone. There's going to be nobody here with you.
She's like, it's okay.
It's right. It's just right there. It's quick. You can do it.
It's right around the corner. The minute that she's out of sight, we hear. And slowly, from behind her, we see a creeping. And, bitch, I screamed. I was screaming at the TV, bitch, no, turn around, no!
Bitch, does he have gout or something?
Well, good observation, he's limping. That is a big thing to notice. He's limping. And he's coming up behind her, just like Jaws. Da-da, 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 da-da. And then he reaches out his left hand, and he pushes her into the water.
And you want to know what? This is China, and people do not know how to swim.
She is shaking her hands, and she is flailing, and bitch, I was afraid.
I wasn't afraid because, like, honestly, even if you don't know how to swim, I'm sure it wasn't that deep.
Well, you can drown in 3 inches of water. You can, because if that's all you're inhaling and you don't got air, then you're dead, bitch.
Okay, yeah, and it was a surprise attack. She
inhaled
the water. Yeah,
sucked in the air.
Yeah,
and who knows what's gonna happen next? Because we got to take a break.
And we are back.
So, Zhen Huan and the Emperor rush in to see Shen, who is unconscious lying on the bed and being attended to by doctors. So in the break, she was fished out of the pond. They brought her to her bed, but they got some bad news. She's unconscious and she will not be awake for a while.
Is there any science behind this? Like, if you drown, are you just like in a coma like this?
I don't know. I think it's interesting. They didn't call it drowning. They called it water inhalation.
Oh, I guess she did inhale water, but it's like...
But anyways, they're questioning Lunar, Taiyue, and they're questioning her eunuch to be like, how the fuck could this happen? And they explained, well, I left to go get this, and I left to go get that. And they are gagged to know that they would leave her alone.
I thought she was left unattended.
Right at this moment, Hua Fei comes in with a vengeance. And not only does she come in with a vengeance, she's changed her costume. Yes, I noticed. Somehow, she changed from wearing her purple loungewear from her home to her more sort of rose pink that she wears to present herself to the Emperor. Which, to me, is an incriminating factor, which we will come back to.
It is an incriminating factor, and everybody notices it too.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like kind of like going back and forth. I think Hua Fei is giving some very like production. She doesn't give a fuck about Shen Meizhuang, but she's like, she goes over, and I feel very awkward having Hua Fei and Zhen Huan being like
that close
to each other.
It's like two black holes that get too close,
like physically close to each other.
Exactly. The ripples in time space are too big.
Don't come at me with black holes.
But basically, Hua Fei is going on the offensive, being like, her servants and her eunuchs need to all go to the Department of Punishments for allowing this to happen. And that is a very severe punishment. And so Zhen Huan sort of steps up to be like, well, maybe not.
We don't need to do all that.
We don't need to do all of
but
that.
What we do need to do is make sure that
her most trusted people are surrounding her in her recovery. Like, yes, it's one thing to say that they were wrong, but at the same time, if we send them away and just replace them with randos, they may do more work to her.
Whenever she wakes up, she's going to be like, where the fuck are my bitches at?
Mm-hmm. The Emperor ends up taking Zhen Huan's side on this because he's like, yeah, it would be really shitty to banish her trusted confidants in this moment of need. And Hua Fei is really mad about this because I think this is maybe one of the first moments that she has not been victorious,
the favored one
in a social setting.
Yeah, and so what they're gonna do is they're going to replace the guards, and you know that Hua Fei is mad as hell because it's not gonna be her little
loyal guards.
Yeah.
The ones that she planted.
The ones that, they've been with her. She probably chose them. They probably pushed Shen Meizhuang into the pond.
She literally told them to do it. And now Zhen Huan is saying, let's replace the guards. They are not to be trusted.
Same guards that killed that poor girl in the first episode.
Exactly. So, honestly, as much as I stand Hua Fei, it's closing in around her. And her crime spree, I think, is about to come out.
We know it's you, bitch. Because you just automatically came in here looking so gorgeous, putting on a show. Mm-hmm. And now you got soup ready.
Right, exactly. I'm in full face. I'm sitting. I got my nails on. I'm in my best dress. And I'm like, oh, by the way, I've just prepared some soup. You want to come, Emperor? And the Emperor can't deny. He's like, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, me and Zhen Huan are going to come.
And Zhen Huan's like, no.
No, I'm going to stay here.
I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. I'm going to stay and look after my friend.
And she does.
We do cut to Jingping, who's back in her quarters after this whole ordeal has gone down. And she confirms everything that we thought. Yes, Hua Fei did it. And she says something so poetic.
要想做狐狸，好歹得把尾巴藏好。可惜呢，一旦得意，这尾巴就露出来了。
She says, if you want to be a fox, you have to hide your tail well. Once you are too happy when you get what you want, your tail will come out. Basically confirming that Hua Fei's plan went exactly according to plan. So Hua Fei kind of gave it up. She wasn't pretending well enough. But she chooses to remain quiet about this issue and not tell the Emperor about her suspicion because she doesn't want Hua Fei to get mad at her.
To come at her, yeah.
Yeah. Now back with Shen Meizhuang. Detective Zhen Huan is on the case and she is pressing Lunar, saying, what did you see? And Lunar says, I told everything. And she says, bitch, tell me what you saw. She's like, well, maybe I saw...
I might have saw...
Spit it out! And what did she see?
She said she may have saw a eunuch. And
then Jen says, never tell us all what you just told me. So Zhen Huan is trying to piece this together by herself and solve the crime.
Then we cut to Hua Fei, and she's with her minions, again in her residence. Her minions. And she is mad that Jen managed to change her guards.
She can't believe it. She is gagged that anybody would dare challenge her because she has been the Emperor's favorite pussy this whole time.
And she says, she dares to step on my head.
她竟敢踩到本宫头上。
And so Hua Fei's like, well, what happened to that girl Yu? What is she still around? Can I call on her? And basically it turns out nobody has been serving her because she's beaten and chased away her maid. So she is just by herself in that random palace with pee on the floor. So then she's like, okay, well, she's out of the picture. Well, what about Kang Lu-hai, Li Ping's eunuch that used to work for Zhen Huan?
I want this character gone.
Well, he's not. Because now he's going to serve Yu Daiying. Or Yu Guan Nu Zhe.
They belong together.
In the next scene, we see the Empress chatting with her maid, Jianqiu, and they're looking at the slab of ink that has been given to her by the Emperor. So it seems like there's a lot of ink traveling around.
What's the tea with ink? Why is everybody so obsessed with this ink?
Well, it's hard to make, I guess.
Where does it come from? A squid?
Now, after she gets the ink, she comments that no matter how good the ink is, it still can't be put to as good a use as Hua Fei's. And Jianqiu understands the double meaning here. She says, well, Hua Fei's ink is used to lure the tiger away and get people's life. Even though it's useful, but all it does is evil.
Another thing that I noticed about this scene is that, like, she passed her language exam because she is describing the ink.
She is. She is. She's using adjectives.
It's very descriptive.
Yes.
She passed the test.
Now, this comment makes the Empress smile, but she says, don't be so open about it. We can't be just talking that openly about it. Because, again, she knows that Hua Fei definitely did it. Everybody in the palace knows. But even she is deciding not to prosecute. I mean, this is the problem with the legal system these days. These people in power have the choice to decide which crimes to prosecute and which crimes not to prosecute. And for whatever reason, they never prosecute the powerful people, and they only come for the poor people.
Rip to ending wrong.
Yeah, so she follows up by saying she can't interfere now. The Emperor just wants some peace, even if it's inconclusive. It doesn't matter in the bigger picture. But she's going to send Shen Meizhuang some medicine.
I think that she can't bring anything up because I think she's like, I can't be making allegations like this. Like, I know she did it, but I cannot prove that she did it. They don't have CCTV. And she doesn't have solid evidence. It's like, yes, we all know that she was behind it, but until I have that solid evidence to say, I know this happened because this, and this, she can't.
And I guess at the same time, too, they don't have like a legal system in which it's like, well, okay, if you do this, then this is the punishment.
It's up to Hua Fei or the Empress.
Exactly. And then, okay,
on whatever day it is.
So if the Emperor says, okay, yeah, Hua Fei did it, and what? And what?
And what are you going to do?
What are you going to do about it? Throw her in jail? I don't think.
Is that giving Scarlet Red?
No. This is worse than what Xia Dongchun did.
Okay, but also, she's not going to go down for it. The person that pushed her in the water is going to go down.
See, she's smart enough to know I'm going to get somebody who is useless and ultimately forgettable to do my crime for me.
I cannot believe that we have just, like, they just completely just forgot about that bitch that was in the well.
No, they closed the case and they said it's over.
And that'll probably happen with this, too.
Well, probably. Because in the next scene, Shen wakes up. Out of her nightmare.
How long do you think she was out?
Well, less than a day. I think it was like an overnight and into the next.
I think that's just, like, over-dramatized. Like, I really don't think she should have been, like, in a coma like that. Just because she inhaled some water.
Well, you know when you feel bad and, like, you're technically not asleep anymore, but you just, like, pretend to be asleep still?
Don't come for me.
I think maybe that was at play. I think she was like, well, I'm not drowned anymore. I'm not in a coma, but, like, don't make me wake up yet.
And you know what? Whenever I'm sick, I'm milking the shit out of that.
Uh-huh.
And I will let you know that I am sick.
Yes, you did several times today. Yes, you did.
That's all I did today was lay and complain.
But you know what? Zhen Huan is like, bitch, tell me who did it. Did you see the face? Did you see who did it? And she barely manages to scrape out, there's only one person vicious enough to want my life, but and Zhen Huan and pats her mouth and is like, say it. She says, but why? Because it was in her own palace. Why is she so indiscreet? And basically confirming, yes, it must have been Hua Fei. And Jen confirms this. She says, well, you know what? I think she deliberately doesn't even want to be discreet. She came here when we thought you were dead. She came here thick makeup, arrogant as fuck in your palace, almost got Lunar in trouble, and got the Majesty to fuck her and spend the night. So...
Oh, do you think they fucked?
Of course they did.
It must be fucking nice. It must be nice.
To have your pick a pussy every day.
Yeah, I wish I had pick a pussy.
There's people that are dying.
I mean, you do have more freedom than a lot of people.
What do you mean?
Like, you can just go out in these streets and find some pussy.
Is anybody worthy?
That is yet to be determined. And basically, yeah, Zhen Huan summarizes by saying only Hua Fei would try to make tremendous gains with such a dangerous move. And it's so bold that, people will stop themselves to think, well, would she really be that crazy to do something crazy like trying to drown a bitch in her own house and then pretend like it wasn't her?
Bitch, I wonder how those fish reacted whenever she went in the water.
They're like, bitch, are you sorry we didn't like your food? You don't have to come for us like this. Shen is very upset, and she's letting her helplessness out in a dramatique monologue to Zhen Huan. And she says, since the beginning, she has viewed me as a bone stuck in her throat. She was so jealous of me being deemed the butthole princess by the emperor and my palace being called the Juhua Palace. But she couldn't get to me because of the emperor's favor for me at that time. And because of my submissive avoidance attitude towards her. But what can I do? I have no evidence. And she has been the emperor's love for so many years. Oh! I'll just tell the emperor that I was clumsy and I fell in.
Rewind that. Did you just say butthole princess?
And I'll say it again. And I'll say it again.
She thinks she's the butthole princess, but I am the butthole princess.
Mm-hmm. And she pushes herself up a little bit and she looks at Jen in the eyes and she says, I can't do anything now, but it doesn't mean I'll be helpless forever. I will survive and count the scores with her slowly. And that is where we leave the episode.
I'm thinking about, are we going to find out that it was Hua Fei? Are they going to, will it be revealed?
I think
it's not going to fall on her, but like, are we going to find this eunuch with gout that we famously have never talked about?
To be fair, I don't think it needs to be revealed because everybody in the palace knows.
So is she going to get in trouble?
I don't think she will get in trouble for this.
He walks with a limp though. Like,
have
we missed out on some clues?
I mean, okay, so the Jinchu could go through it and let us know if we've missed a clue and we are supposed to know who this is. I truly believe that this is just like the director's choice to make the villain look disabled as a way to like other than,
Girl, not the ableism.
Literally, I think that is what is at play here, unfortunately.
Oh my god, he's probably gay too.
Bitch. All the eunuchs are. Can you imagine? This is like, being a eunuch is like the ancient form of chastity.
No, I love my balls.
Well.
I can't imagine.
Well, top.
I'm a top. That's not a joke. Just a fact.
Okay, so other than the continuation of this case, do you have any predictions for the next episode?
I bet that one of the girls will get fucked.
Okay. Wow, what a useless prediction. I believe that there was enough talk about Yu Guanyuzi that she's going to come back.
She's coming back.
And I also believe that we've been talking about the 17th Prince. We've got to get him back.
He better come back.
He better come back.
I'm going to see him in my dreams tonight.
Yes, Daddy!
Ooh. Should we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Oh my god, girl. Where did you get that confident and sexy glow? I've never seen you like this before.
I just left my class at Zero Gravity Pole Dance.
Zero Gravity Pole Dance? Girl, that's just you on a Saturday night.
Now, I know you've seen me at the club, and I'm just showing off what I have learned at Zero Gravity. They offer an inclusive environment, and they also offer a variety of classes for different levels. I started off at the virgin level, and I've worked my way up. And that's what I've been showing off at the club.
I'm gonna get me a man's this way.
I know, but now that we have been locked in the house for a long time, it has become a little bit difficult. But luckily, Zero Gravity offers in-person and online classes.
Amazing! So you're saying that I can become the pole dancing vixen goddess of my dreams right from the comfort of my own home?
Absolutely, especially with Zero Gravity Pole Dance.
Amazing. And guess what? If you use discount code WHITEGAZE, you can get up to 0% off your first booking.
So that's code WHITEGAZE for 0% off your first booking at Zero Gravity Pole Dance.
I'll see you on the pole. We are back, and it is time for our look segment called
本周心机真丑妆.
Alright, Big Westi, what are your favorite looks this week?
Okay, so I have two standout looks. One of them might be shocking, but it is Zhen Huan and her little blue jammies.
I agree, it's a serve.
And it's the half up, half down hair, the inches.
And she still got her nails on.
And she still has her nails on. Well, you gotta have your nails to play the zither.
You've got to.
And then my other one is Hua Fei perched up in the bed.
Effortless.
Sitting.
Expensive, alright? She's got literally sitting, just laying there.
Leaning.
I would also give a special shout out to the Empress because she is serving in her like pale green, but she's also got her dangle pearls and her hair is full gold plated.
It's appropriate for her age.
It's appropriate for her age, and bitch, she looks expensive.
Yeah, she's not out here giving pinks.
No. Yeah, unfortunately, our top boot of the week is Chi Fei in the pink.
Chi Fei in the pink. And the Emperor agrees.
And the Emperor agrees. Now, who is going to be our top bitch of the week?
Obviously, Hua Fei.
Give it up for Miss Hua Fei. She's serving down boots. Mama.
The house... Oh, maybe gay people don't deserve rights.
Now it's time for our segment called Whispers in the Palace, where we hear from our listeners different tidbits and facts that maybe we've missed or some behind-the-scenes gossip. And our first piece comes from
the iconic,
the incomparable,
the impregnable,
Carson Wei! Okay, Carson Wei, we literally stand you so much. We're gonna have to get you on the pod sooner rather than later. And he was helping us to realize what is the full pun from episode 8. So it is 早生贵子, and that comes from 红枣, which is dried dates, 花生, which is peanuts, 龙丸, which is 桂圆, and finally lotus seeds, which are 莲子. So it all becomes 早生贵子, which means have a child early. So thank you for filling us in on those language bits that we forgot.
And may your pussy be fruitful.
What's our next whisper?
Next we have Miss Wan from Weibo. And she said, we told her that this is our new favorite show. And she said that it was great. And it can give us many insights on the power relations in China, even though it happened in the Qing Dynasty. And people are using memes from the shows on social media to talk about like current events and issues going on right now.
Exactly. It's like a whole different internet language. So
she said that the show itself is extremely important part of Chinese gay culture.
It's Pride again. Okay, we are here to serve the gays.
Happy Pride. Happy Pride.
And our final whisper also comes from the incomparable, impregnable Carson Wei, who lets us know why Zhen Huan was late.
Oh, yes, the tea.
The tea is that the Emperor Yongzhen was known for his diligence in history, and because of that, he only slept 4 to 6 hours a night. So if you were with him, then presumably you also only get 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night. So of course, when you're sleeping over and you're not in full face, then you have to wake up, go back to your palace, get in full face, hair and nails, and then go greet the Empress. It's a big process to do early in the morning.
Especially if you live where Zhen Huan lives.
Right, at the Sui Yuan Xuan.
In Ningbo.
Sui Yu Xuan. So we also think that Hua Fei arrived early on that specific day to reinforce how bad it looked that she was late.
Fuck that. That bitch is always late.
She is. And that is Whispers in the Palace.
Do we have a Chinese name for that one?
No.
It's just Whispers. Okay, it's just Whispers in the Palace, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, listen, everybody. This week, I was supposed to prepare the challenge, but I got drunk last night. And so I came over here, hungover and unprepared.
And of course, we cannot let that go unpunished in the palace. We cannot show that we have a tolerance for people being drunk and lazy around here. So luckily, I have prepared a challenge. So this is not a challenge that you will present on the pod. Oh, no. You're not getting off so easy. This is going to be a special video challenge accessible only to our subscribers. You've got to go to a Chinese fruit shop and you've got to use your Chinese language to buy a specific set of fruits that I will supply to you.
What fruits do I gotta get? Buoluo?
I will tell you the fruits on the grocery list and you will have to supply them.
Okay. I can do that.
And it will be timed.
It'll be timed.
It will be timed.
Bitch, I worked in kindergarten. I know the fruits, baby.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing this challenge. If you would like to watch this challenge, make sure you go to anchor.fm/whitegaze and become a subscriber so that you can see this exclusive video content.
Joke's on you, bitch. I got pleco.
So, listeners, stay tuned. We will see how he does on this challenge this weekend. And I guess
it's time to say
再见. If you like White Gaze, we would love for you to leave a review of our podcast, give us 5 stars, and don't forget to subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen from. You can also support us by signing up for listener support and pledging a small monthly donation on our website, anchor.fm/whitegaze/support.
You can follow us at @reverse_cowboy_ and at Officer Trenty. And our White Gaze account is @White Gaze Podcast.
White Gaze is not endorsed by Beijing TV Art Center. It is intended for entertainment purposes only. Zhen Huan and all names, audio, pictures, and video clips are all registered trademarks and or copyrights of their respected trademark and or copyright holders.
White Gaze is a podcast hosted by Weston Swift and Trenton Snyders. Produced by Trenton Snyders and Monty Xia. Sound and audio by Trenton Snyders. Media by Monty Xia. Our theme song is White Gaze by Trenton Snyders and Weston Swift.